Marco, hi.
Hi.
How's the squad looking? Has everyone still got a clean bill of health?
Yes, not fresh news really. Some knocks from the last game, but nothing really serious, and from the sessions, but nothing really serious that can make us to think about to change something special related with the injury.
Alex Iwobi posted a picture of an ice pack on his ankle. That's okay then?
I was like I said, it's like a knock. He trained this morning. Let's see how is going to be the reaction from the knock, but nothing really shows that can be any serious problem. But let's see the reaction from the session today. But nothing come from the game. Come much more from a situation that he felt he had a knock, and after during the week we took care of him, and he trained yesterday, trained today in the morning as well. Let's see the reaction after we are going to decide.
And Anthony Robinson, is he fully fit now, up to speed?
He's being involved in the game, in the games. He's being involved in the squad list, in contention to the games as well. Of course, we are giving him enough time for him to get that confidence that he needed to play. He's really an athlete player, and he needs to be fully fit to be the player that he is being for us the last 3-4 seasons, really 5 seasons. Is being so important for us in many aspects of our game, defensively, offensively as well, and we need him in his best physical conditions. Of course, after the surgery, it will take a bit longer in terms of time that we expected, but at the same time we are managing him and giving him the time or enough time to get the best of him. Sooner he's going to start to have more minutes because we need him to have more minutes. Let's see if he's going to be tomorrow, he's going to be in the next game, the Carabao Cup game, and all that stuff is up to me to decide. Speaking with him and being very close to him, because in this moment he needs the support from all of us. Because for a player that is always ready and play almost all the games in season and any season that he was with us, international games, travel every single time, and was always ready, for him is being a little bit a tough period to don't be 100% in conditions to help the team.
What did you make of Kevin's cameo, the 20 minutes against Leeds? It's got the Fulham fans very excited.
I think it's normal. He's not about his profile as a player. For me, he's not surprised that he's going to get the people excited, because I know the player we signed. I know the player that I know why I push so much the club to go in direction of Kevin, and player that was in our radar the last few months. And of course, we knew what he's capable of in his time. He needs to understand many other things that is going to be involved in the game. The game is not just that moments that is very difficult to stop him. 1v1 moments is very brave in his way to play. He has the skills to beat people and to go forward, and he has the capacity to push our team forward and stretch always the other teams too. That is very, very good on this type of moments. All the other moments he needs time to adapt for us to Premier League. The intensity of the game has two sides. There's not just one side when you are attacking, as the other side too. But of course I understand why the people is excited with him. Is the impact that he made in that game. He did the same in the first sessions with his teammates as well. Not surprise us as a group, because we know him well. As myself as a manager, of course, was a bit surprised for the people that probably didn't know him so well. But that was the reason why you signed. We needed a player, or we need the players on the wide areas of the pitch that can give us different things. When the teams are blocking more ourselves, when it's more difficult for us to break some teams down, like was the example of Leeds last Saturday, we need this type of players. Of course, Adama came in as had an impact too. Kevin the same. We expect the same from Chukwueze when he's going to be ready to help the team. But yes, definitely is a young quality player that is an exciting talent that we have with us. Let's work with him to take the best from him, and that was the reason why we bought him and why we paid the money that we did.
Is he pushing for a start against Brentford, or does he need a bit more time to get used to the squad?
About 11, you have to wait for tomorrow. I understand the question, but we have to wait for tomorrow. The reality that he's going to fight, and has to fight very hard with very good players that he has in the squad. We really believe on him, but we really believe on the others as well. It's up to them to do their best day in, day out, every single week, and after it's up to me to decide.
Your contract is up at the end of the season. Have you had any conversations with the club about extending that?
Yes, it's true that I'm in last year contract. One thing that is not, I'm not going to let the people to talk or to go. My contract situation is never to be a distraction in this football club, never. The club knows, and the people around myself, the offers and all that stuff that arrive in the football club or myself. I'm being always full focus in the last. Since I joined the club, I did renew in the middle of my journey here. If the club is going to speak with me, of course, when we had some conversations last season, we are ready to sit. The approach is easy. We are always speaking. I'm always speaking. I'm in contact with the people from the club. The right timing will come. These conversations for sure. Until the moment that we have something to announce or not, never is going to be a distraction. We have much more important things to talk about than my situation.
But are you still excited about the long-term project here?
I was. If you see, and the players they know, if you see myself every single day in the club, I know that you don't. Everybody knows how I'm excited. Every single day for me is the best day in the world, because I really love my job. I love what I'm doing. I love the football club too. It's true. I did show that so many times already in my journey here. But this is one thing about my daily basis, always there on, and full of ambition, full of motivation to always to improve the club and the football players and to prepare well the next game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Mark.
Hi.
Just going back to Kevin, and we talked about, you said he's the sort of player that can get everyone excited, and I know the fans are really excited about it from what they've seen. From what you've seen of him, is he the sort of player that will welcome that sort of attention? Does he like that, or is he the sort of guy that will keep his head down and maybe not take notice of what's going on around him?
Let's see. You know, I know him, but I'm not him so well. Like I know Timothy Castagne or Kenny Teti that has been with me 5 years. It's normal. I think it's a process. Everything is a process. He's very young. It's not the first time in Europe, but he's very young. Was in a different context as well, and I have to say in a very difficult context, in a personal point of view, personal life point of view, because you know the context that he was living in Ukraine and all that stuff. He's a young boy, but with a lot of things in the last 2 years, 3 years around himself, around his life and all that stuff, and the reality that you have to be ready to adapt for that type of circumstances that you cannot control, about football matches, about your decisions, the way you are going to react for the good vibes from the fans, the good reaction from the fans or the people or the journalists, or the bad reaction from the fans. You can control. If you want to read, we read. If you not, you don't read. If you want to be aware, it's not a problem. What he got and the feelings that he got the last 2 years in his own life, they are completely different, and things that they are, no one can live. That is the truth. About himself, of course, as I told you, I have enough time in the future to know better him, to help him to react in a different ways. Of course, I told your colleagues in the end of the last game, 10% or 15% of this job was already done with the impact and the reaction from the fans. When you arrive in one football club, you have to have an impact in your teammates, and he made it straight away, I have to say. And of course, if the fans start to have this reaction when you are on the pitch, I told him 15-20% of your job is done, and after you have to do the other 80%. That is every single day to be at that level, that is react. Don't be too excited when come this type of reactions, and don't be too down when the other reactions will come, because they will come. It's part of our business, and like all the others, he has to be the right balance. I'm here to help him to be in the middle, to don't be over the moon when something happens like that, and don't be so depressive when become the opposite. And I think he's going to be ready for it, and we are here to help him, because he knows that he has to be humble enough to understand what type of competition that he's playing. He's playing against the best teams in the world and the best players in the world, and he has to be ready every single time.
And you can give that advice to him. Would you also advise the fans to say, he's made a good debut, he's made a good impression, but let's give him time, let's not place all our expectations on this guy?
I let the fans to react in the way they think that is the best. For me, if they support the players that they have been supporting, all the players, and if they support the team that they have been supporting always, away or at home, for me, is what we really need, and is what I can, if I can ask something to them, is what I can ask them, is that about the other part is about ourselves, to give them and to make them proud, that I think you have been doing the last 3-4 seasons in the football club. About the excitement for them with the players, I would prefer them to be like this than to be the opposite way, and of course after with the time, I think the football and the challenge of Premier League will make the fans to understand that sometimes not just Kevin, other players, they are going to have great times and other not so great times as well.
Turn to the game against Brentford. 2 really close matches, dramatic matches last season. Do you sense, obviously a big rivalry between the fans, do you sense it with the players as well? The players understand that maybe players that have come from elsewhere, but have they bought into this whole idea of this being a big derby game for the fans?
They understand definitely. Most of the players that we have in our squad, they know. As you know, we didn't change many things. What means that 90% of the group, they know what means this type of games. When you are a professional football player, if you talk about and use the word is a derby and a special game to the fans as a motivation, they know what it means, because you play derbies in every championship that you are playing, or every country that you are playing. You have this capacity to play and to understand, and of course it's going to be easy for them to understand. Our players, they know. The last few seasons they have been tough games, always with goals and really some dramatic goals for both sides and all that stuff, and everybody knows what type of game that we expect. Brentford, they know as well. The fans from both sides, they know, and we love to be involved in this type of games. And to be honest, most of the times we have been doing really well, and we expect to do well. Last season, as you mentioned, they were excited games, very competitive, challenge games, and with some change in the score, late minute goals and all that stuff that make the feeling from the team that we won the games better than the others. But they have been very competitive games, and I don't expect something different tomorrow, to be honest.
Just in terms of the way you've been playing defensively, you've been very solid, haven't conceded from open play yet this season, but Brentford pose a very particular threat. A lot's been made of them with the long throws. Have you been making any special contingencies for how you deal with that?
No, we prepare ourselves. We analyze them. We know their strengths. Some things that you can explore, and on them. And we did our part. We do it in every single game. It was not different right now, and we already play against sides this season that they use the long throws as well. Brentford is a good example. The way they have been using, and they have been getting some successful from that moment, and we have to give credits for them. And of course we did prepare, like we prepare our offensive set pieces as well, to try to explore something on Brentford's setup. I think it's part of the preparation for a game, and we are ready.
And just on the fact that you haven't conceded from open play, how pleased with that are you? And also, what's been the key to that? Is it just the defenders themselves, is it defending as a team, or what's been key?
No, it's a process. Is an organization. It's not just doesn't start in Leno. Don't start just in the back line. It's much more than that. For us to, and the players know that for us to attack well, everything sometimes start in our goalkeeper, in our defenders, and for us to defend well and to be compact and to show good organization, start from the top of the pitch with Rodrigo or Raul and the player that is playing, Emil or Josh King. They are the players more ready there to start. I have to say that we have been very compact. We have not conceded from open play, and even we are not giving many chances for the other teams to create. That is a good sign too. And when this happens, means that we have showing a good organization. We prepare ourselves. The players they have been sticking with the plan as well that we are preparing for them. And of course, it's matter of course after to put an effort in to help each other, to be in a good organization, and to keep the focus until the end. And I think the players have been showing that. And of course, myself as a manager, I'm proud of it.
Just finally from me, just on Brentford, and they went through a lot of changes in the summer. They lost a manager, they lost some key players as well. What have you made of them from what you've seen at the start of the new season, and how they're any different from what you faced last season?
You can feel it that most of and you mentioned, I think that when you lose the two attacking players that they lost, and they were key players for them, and of course when they lost a very important midfielder, they did in Norgard situation. Of course, they were key players, but you can see that I'm not saying they were prepared for all these changes, but the way they replaced them, I think you can see that they had the plan behind that. The replacement of the midfielder, I'm not saying that they are equal players, but you see some similarities there in terms of experience, maturity, the way they play. That player, when I'm talking about Anderson, of course, and Norgard, and of course the attacking players, they were been preparing that situation in the past as well. Shad is much more prepared for this type of situations. He's doing a very good start of the season. Of course, when they signed Igor, I think 18 months ago probably was for him to be ready before. He had a really an unfortunate season, lucky season last season with injuries. He's ready to help the team. Of course, they were key players, but I think the players that they come in and they got the position, they have been doing very well. In terms of structure, I don't see many difference. Of course, Andres is trying to put his personal things in the team, and good start from their season. You can see they can change, like the last few seasons, 4 at the back or 5 at the back is something that they mix. Some games they start with 4, other games they start with 5, something that they did in the past. The preparation from the offensive set pieces, but the other things as well, that capacity to be man marking and man on man every single time of the moment. They are very aggressive in this type of moments. You see some similarities as well. Of course, change the massive part of the staff, but one person stayed there as well, and of course he built his own staff, and the start is being good for us. Okay, but it's for Brentford, it's about Brentford. The focus is about ourselves. We know them well, we respect them, but the focus is always in ourselves and what we are capable to do or not.